In Russia as President Cyril Ramaphosa's special envoy.
And of course, Mabuza will be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow tomorrow. The deputy president is expected to convey President Ramaphosa's best wishes on the Russian leader's re-election to office last March and his inauguration last week. In a statement from the presidency, Moscow and Pretoria will further strengthen the already existing political, economic and trade ties. And that meeting will take place ahead of the BRICS summit to be hosted by South Africa in July. For more on this story, we cross live now to our correspondent Julia Lyubova in Moscow. Julia, good evening to you. It is a welcome development, of course, that BRICS will be hosted in South Africa, but Deputy President Mabuza making his first trip as an envoy of President Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yes, indeed. So South Africa's president has appointed a special envoy to Russia, and his deputy, David Mabuza, as you mentioned, was named for this post. And David Mabuza will now travel to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin this week. And in fact, he will meet Putin on 15th of May in Moscow. And of course, they will have plenty to discuss, plenty on the agenda.
Of course, South Africa has invested quite heavily in its relationship with Moscow. Is it a relationship that's yielding any dividends for Pretoria?
Well, indeed, Russia and South Africa have a growing relations, really, and they already have established cooperation. But indeed, they want to grow their ties even further. Of course, both countries are BRICS members, along with China, India, and Brazil. And of course, they enjoy highest level of cooperation in that framework. And of course, the two sides are trying to build their political and economic ties even further.
All right, we will watch that story with some interest there from Moscow. Julia Lyubova, we will come back and get some more clarity on her. At this stage, we're going to try and give you an update on what's going on with the bus strike. Here we go live.